Bob, how long have you been doing this?
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. I'm good. Good to see you. It's been with canal tours. Boy, they've probably been 15 years. 20.
The last 10 to 15 years or so, but it goes way back to the early 1800s when they were trying to find a way to capitalize on the Worcester County farms and everything to make some money down in Rhode Island. So what they did was they started proposing ways of moving goods, which were being taken by wagon over to Boston, down through Providence. So you had competing merchants in Providence.
We'll be right back.
So you had competing merchants in Providence and Boston. So the Boston people wanted the goods because they were making the money, but the Providence folks thought they could do a better job. So around 1825, they started the canal. They had the help of the Irish laborers coming in. The people that designed the Erie Canal up in New York had come down to design it. They couldn't find anybody who could actually build it, so they found the Irish laborers that worked on both canals, and they came down, which then brought the Irish into Worcester, right? And they helped get the canal finished, and the canal ran. Now, what was the impact of this canal? Well, it actually created the city of Worcester. So the whole birthplace of Worcester can almost be put down. This is like in Jim Cote's book. This may not be anybody else's, but the whole birthplace of Worcester can be attributed to the Canal District. Because the Canal District created the ability to move goods and products and people to Rhode Island for a profit. So that's how areas get built when it comes into for a profit, right? So the success of the canal, which lasted to 1848, was 20 years. And you may think, well, it was kind of like 20 years, what's the big deal, right? But the canal sped up the process of railroads. So whereas Worcester and Providence may not have had a railroad, they still have profit in moving goods out of Worcester, right? So the canal then became the whole basis for the city of Worcester being built. So the reason that you base this on any kind of fact is in 1820, prior to the canal being built, the population of Worcester was 2,962, right? Everything else was farms around here. Now the canal runs to 1848, so in 1850, right, the population of Worcester is now 17,049. So it's the biggest growth period in Worcester until the Industrial Revolution, like 100 years later. The economic growth that obviously in Kelly Square and the surrounding areas is enormous, right? Because we get the new ballpark over here. All this here, so the original Kelly Square was actually the finest location. It was Green Street, the intersection of Green and Harding. I think is what they call the actual Kelly Square. And anybody know who Kelly was? All right, so he's legendary because he actually won the Silver Star in the French Cross de Guerre. He was a Army sergeant, so I was a Marine, but still I'll honor an Army sergeant doing what he did. And right a month before World War I ended, he died in a mustard gas attack. But prior to that, he was a hero many times over in various battles. So after he died, Worcester came back. Now, you get a lot of Irish around now by this point, right? So what better name a square after an Irish guy that's very popular and heroic? So this became Sergeant Cornelius Kelly Square.